Good afternoon, Zimbabwe, and welcome to the Lunchtime News. I'm Prudence Mutimba Nyoka with Peaceway Jomka on sign language. In our first story, inclusion of women and climate change discussions has been cited as key in ensuring workable solutions are implemented to lessen the burden of gender inequality.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, together with Care International Zimbabwe, held an event which centered on the response and challenges faced by women due to climate change at the country's pavilion at the ongoing COP28 in Dubai this Sunday.
And we hope to see a change in the delegates to have more women and more simple decisions on what are the crops that are drought resistant and what decisions can we make to make sure that we preserve the soils.
Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Minister, Senator Monica Mchangwa, highlighted how women...
What's happening in our country with the El Nino, the droughts, all that, cyclones, who are affected mostly are women. So I'm happy to say at COP28 we have quite a number of women.
The engagement also noted the need for sustainable energy alternatives and adequate climate change literacy.
Project developers are offering households cook stoves, and they are able to almost quantify the saving that we then make by using these cook stoves as opposed to using firewood for cooking.
Meanwhile, the fourth day of COP28 witnessed the inaugural Health Day with over $777 million United States dollars to defeat neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, and improve lives of 1.6 billion people. World leaders and international foundations discussed solutions to eradicate two destructive NTDs of trachoma, blindness, and lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as elephantiasis, that causes painful swelling of limbs. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Dubai.
The 22nd edition of the International Conference on AIDS and STIs has started in Harare today. Our health editor, Abigail Tempo, is on the line to give us more. Good afternoon, Abigail.
Good afternoon. Yes, indeed, ICASA has kicked off in the capital with more than 5,000 delegates from across the globe gathering for the 6th conference. This is the second time Zimbabwe is hosting this prestigious event, with the first one having been conducted. By hosting this conference, Zimbabwe is demonstrating its commitment to tackling the new issues brought on by HIV and AIDS. This world event is extremely important to Zimbabwe as it coincides with the nation's recent accomplishment of exceeding the UNAIDS 95-95-95 prevention targets. The biannual international conference is the main and largest African forum bringing together key stakeholders in HIV, sexually transmitted infections, and communicable diseases. President Emmerson Mnangagwa is expected to officially open the conference this afternoon. We will continue to give you more updates from ICASA as the day and the week progresses, but for now, it's back to the studio. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Abigail. And on the same note, Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi has arrived in the country to attend the 22nd edition of the International Conference on AIDS and STIs in Africa. He was received at the Robert Gabriel International Airport by Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Ambassador Frederick Shaba, Health and Childcare Minister Dr. Douglas Mumbeshora, and ICASA President Dr. David Parirenyatwa. The conference is an opportunity for delegates to highlight the challenges and successes in HIV and AIDS response across the continent. DP World Chief Executive Officer Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem paid a courtesy call on President Emmerson Mnangagwa in Harare, in Dubai this Sunday, with discussions exploring how the firm can invest in the movement of goods for Zimbabwe.
Already operating in a number of African countries moving goods, DP World Freight Company is looking into setting up operations in Zimbabwe. Emerging from a closed-door meeting with President Mnangagwa, the company's chief executive officer, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, said discussions were premised on how they can come in and connect Zimbabwe with the world in terms of goods movement.
We had a very good meeting with the Excellency, the President and the ministers. And DP World is very interested in Zimbabwe We believe that we have the resources and the capability and the knowledge to connect Zimbabwe and increase the trade between Zimbabwe and Mozambique, and hopefully able to move the products that are today not moving as fast as they need into the world. So we spoke about the possibilities, and we are very interested. There will be a team coming from DP World to meet Harare very soon to implement what we discussed today.
Zimbabwe's business ambassador to the Middle East, Mr. Mohamed Jasset, who was part of the meeting, said the DP World Group has shown willingness to build dry ports, noting that as a follow-up to the meeting, they are expected in the country on the 18th of this month.
The DP World have indicated a willingness to revamp our railway lines. They're willing to build some dry ports for us in different areas. We also talked about the possibility of navigation on the Zambezi River and Lake Kariba and Cabora Bassa, because transporting of goods on water is always the cheapest option. So these are the things that we discussed mainly. We have lined up several meetings in the next coming months.
Presidential Special Investment Advisor Mr. Paul Tungwarara and Geopomona Chief Executive Officer Mr. Delish Nguwaya, who are part of the delegation that attended the UN Climate Change Conference, believe Zimbabweans in the diaspora have a duty to learn best practices from other countries for implementation back home in pursuit of economic growth.
To us, we are moving into practical. We are not just theoretical diasporians. And we have seen that is good to support our country because nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Hatingamirire kuti tizovakirwa nevanhu panguva yavanoda, asi already tikutovaka kuZimbabwe.
We come here to learn what other countries are doing to change ideas of how we manage our cities, how we manage our waste. It's also very important as a geopomona to interact with other people who have new technology to also to change to other cities what you are doing at Pomona.
The Second Republic is pursuing the engagement and re-engagement agenda to attract investment in various sectors of the economy for the transformation of people's livelihoods. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Dubai.
A €900,000 cross-border traders market is set for construction at the Chirundu border post to facilitate intra-regional trade in a safe working space.
Construction of the modern market is set to start in earnest after a groundbreaking ceremony at the border post, with project implementers pledging to complete the project by August next year. An 80-hectare piece of land has been set aside for the project, with cross-border traders excited about the development.
You can see the way the cross-border traders are doing their markets on a market day. We don't have enough ablution facilities. They sell foodstuffs and clothing on the floor. There's no proper shading.
Yes, we don't have even toilets because we are suffering. We are going in the bush. Yes, so it could be better if they build us some toilets there. We can be happy.
Mashonaland West Acting Provincial Development Officer, Mr. Tembros Msemwa, challenged the project implementers to adhere to the policy of inclusivity to ensure people with disabilities also benefit.
As we do our selection criteria in terms of beneficiaries for this project, matters of inclusivity are very key. Let me bring to your attention the issue of persons with disabilities. We have a lot of cross-border traders with disabilities.
For the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, the project seeks to transform lives, industrialize rural communities, and create wealth, while for the European Union, the initiative strengthens regional integration.
If I can give you a dream, the dream is that in a year time from now, you will see a massive transformation that will take place here.
And this is yet another milestone. You know, the European Union, the African Union, we have a very, very close partnership in regional trade, connectivity. That's all very, very important for us. So
Chief Director in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Engineer Francis Gondo, noted that small-scale cross-border trade contributes 40% of the total intra-regional trade in COMESA.
Small-scale cross-border trade is a major feature in the African economic and social landscape, as it is estimated to contribute to income of about 43% of the continent's population. In terms of trade, small-scale cross-border trade contributes about 40% of total inter-regional trade in the COMESA region.
Dominated by women, small-scale cross-border trading has been key in sustaining families.
Increasing agriculture output through irrigation development, mining development and promoting tourism investment dominated discussions at the Mashonaland West Province Investment Conference held in Kadoma over the weekend.
The conference sought to unlock and unpack investment opportunities to domestic and foreign investors as the province makes strides towards contributing to the achievement of Vision 2030.
The challenge is about infrastructure. The doctor is articulated well to say if basic amenities are not available in any city, we can't talk of any development or attraction of any investors. What I want to contribute to this gathering is the challenges the local councils are facing, they can be solved locally without attracting any foreign investment.
Mashonaland West Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo, unpacked the Provincial Economic Development Plan, which seeks to increase the provincial gross domestic product.
We are gathered here to discuss investment in Mashonaland West Province, focusing on investment opportunities that flourish within our province, investment enablers, as well as the financing aspect. This investment conference provides a platform for the province to showcase its potentials that, if fully exploited, will enable the accomplishment of the desired economic growth and development envisaged in the Provincial Economic Development Plan.
Mashonaland West Province has various untapped investment opportunities which cut across various sectors, which include mining, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, small and medium enterprises, and infrastructure development.
Villagers in Magunje have commended the ruling ZANU-PF party for being responsive to people's needs through rehabilitation of Magunje Hospital after a hailstorm destruction last month.
Hailstorms that hit most areas across the country last month, including Magunje Hospital, excluded thousands of people from accessing learning and health services, with some walking over 10 kilometers to access the nearest health facilities. Those in Magunje are, however, grateful to interventions by the ZANU-PF party through the legislator for the constituency, Honorable Supamonga Madiro, who moved in to rehabilitate the referral facility with works already in motion.
Tangatawirwa nedambudziko rakakura rokuti taatatoshaiwa kuti toita sei. Hakuna kana pamwe padhuze pataikwasa kuti tinoenda pachipatara chedu changa chaenda nemhepo. Saka tinotenda MP wedu.
Isi vagari vekuno kuRungweka takatova nedambudziko nechipatara chedu changa chatorwa nemhepo ichi nemvura yakanaya mazuva apera. Asi nekuburikidzawo naMP wedu vasingakundikane, musangano wedu usingakundikane weZANU-PF vatigadzirira chipatara.
Tinotarisira zvinhu zvinofadza saizvozvi nekuti zvaitika munzvimbo medu idambudziko ratanga tasangana naro guru kwazvo. Kana kwakadai nokuti mvura iri kuuya mazuva ano yatanga kuuya yose kubva ichitanga ine mhepo yakanyanyisa. Saka tinotenda kana vachinge vaitawo nzeve nhete semutungamiriri watakasarudza kuti atitungamirire.
The ruling party, working in conjunction with the Ministry of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, is targeting to complete the project before sustained rains resume.
Mvura ingachipinda mukati zvichizoti mastaff imba yemastaff yakatakura zvave nemvura inofanira kuti igadzirwe chiburikidza nevakomana vepublic works vakutibatsira kuti kugadzira zvakare musha uyu. Marata ese tauya nawo anokwana kuti paiswe roof.
The hospital serves villages that include Karereshi, Katene, Kebvunde and Chiva, with a combined population over 50,000 people.
The Zimbabwean embassy in Zambia is in the process of updating its database of Zimbabwean students studying in the neighboring country to ensure easy coordination.
An estimated 10,000 Zimbabwean students are studying at various universities and colleges in Zambia, And Zimbabwe's top envoy to the country, Ambassador Charity Charamba, is encouraging the students and their guardians to check in with the embassy to ensure their well-being during their study period.
We've actually witnessed quite a number of students that are coming here to learn in institutions in Zambia, which is quite good because Zambia and Zimbabwe, we enjoy cordial relations. We have exchange programs. Actually, we have the president's sponsorship program known as the ED UNZA scheme, where we have students at the University of Zambia. Then we also have other universities where we have Zimbabweans. And of late, we have noticed quite an increase in the number of students that are coming into Zambia. But what I want to urge parents out there is that whenever your child is coming to learn in a foreign land, please be interested to know, one, where are they going to be staying? Do they have accommodation? Secondly, are their permits in order? Then you must also at least inform us as the embassy that you have your children who are coming to learn here. When we are here, we're their mothers, we're their fathers. We represent the interests of all Zimbabweans here.
Ambassador Charamba added that the embassy doors are open to every Zimbabwean staying in Zambia, calling on Zimbabweans to take advantage of the COMESA Free Trade Area and the COMESA Simplified Trade Facility to boost their businesses. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News.
The Second Republic's inclusive agenda, meant to create room for mass participation in national development initiatives, has been endorsed by progressive forces.
Various institutions are taking stock of how they fared in their areas of jurisdiction, be it in agriculture, small to medium enterprises, and religious persuasions, among others, as the calendar year comes to an end. What has stood out for many is the Second Republic's policies that have allowed once marginalized groups to participate in mainstream economic activities despite some hurdles along the way.
This year has been very good, very tough through the whole election, but ZANU-PF is a revolution party that empowers its own, empowering the young women nationally, and we've been empowered by it as young women throughout the country.
Programs kurima kwedu munyika tiri kumhanya nenhau yerural industrialization, tiri kumhanya nema-export markets. Tine mafarmers vedu vari kutoexporta zvirimwa zvavo zvichienda kunze, so farmers for ED tiri kumhanya nezvakawanda zvinosimudzira varimi.
We are happy because the ZANU-PF party, which is the revolutionary party, which is also our mother party and our father party, allowed us to be an affiliate.
Kunzwisisa kwakaita vana mukoti nemachiremba maererano nenyaya dzemastrikes. Iye zvino kudhara waingogara uchingonzwa strike padiki strike. Iye zvine zvakusina zvese izvozvo. Vanhu vese vakufamba nedonzvo rapresident vaMnangagwa.
The ZANU-PF leadership says it is walking the talk after the elections, with several empowerment projects being rolled out.
According to His Excellency Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, about leaving no one and no place behind. And as we are going towards 2030, he is looking at a situation where we have to be empowered as a country. And these are policy issues, because if we are all in one mindset, we will achieve the vision.
Zvinhu zvatiri kuona kuti president wedu vane hanya nesu kunyanyanyanya vechidiki.
Outstanding ruling party affiliates in different categories and individuals have been rewarded for excelling in their areas of interest.
For these and more stories, do visit our website www.zbcnews.co.zw and our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, ZBC News Online, as well as our platform X at ZBC News Online. We take a short break. Do stay tuned.
We asked the children, how many of you brushed this morning? And this little boy, his hand didn't go up. And I said, well, why didn't you brush this morning? He said, my brother was using the toothbrush. If I'd waited for him, I would have been late for school. I'm sorry, I get a bit emotional when it comes to that. To be able to change a child's life, to be able to bring back that confidence about their smile, for me, is phenomenal.
Let's live it up and party and have cracking good fun. When it comes to entertainment, DSTV's number ready to go. We've got the zaniest clip.
Welcome back to the Lunchtime News. Thank you for staying tuned. Zimbabweans have been reminded to embrace the spirit of Ubuntu by remembering the less privileged during the festive season, riding on the government's inclusive development mantra.
In setting the tone for the month meant to celebrate the Savior in Christian belief, a Gweru-based firm took time to ensure December becomes memorable to the less privileged and traditional leaders in the Midlands province.
Konke lemuli yakhe labafamily yakhe konke basithina ogogo basincedile kakhulu ngoba bevele silambile
ona kushanda nesu vazhinji vanoti kana vakaona vanhu vasingaoni vanovatarisira pasi vamwe vasema vamwe vanoti mabhega vamwe vanoti chii vanotaura zvavanoda masita akawanda asi maidhuve nemurume wavo vanhu vakatosiyana.
Corporates have been urged to take a leaf from the gesture to support the less privileged.
Isuo semusangano wezanu PF kunova ndo kuna smeli ndo kwaanobva. Tinozviziva kuti kana vanhu vachinge vaita zvakanaka vanofanira kurangarira panobva simba ravo.
Hatikombi nema government efforts asi tinoita compliment government efforts. Saka ndinoda kutenda River Valley Properties for complementing government efforts.
The firm says their gesture is anchored on the Second Republic's nyika inovakwa nevene vayo ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi valo mantra.
Ndinoti nguva yasvika yekuti tirangarire unoziva kuti December torangarira kuzvarwa kwamambo Jesu Kristu but izvi tozviita magore negore kurangarira vanhu mablinds vanhu vakaremara mawidows edu nemadzishe tamapira kunge ndio vanotichengeta unoziva kwatiri uku tinoziva kuti ndio vachengeti vedu.
Other programs under its radar include payment of school fees to disadvantaged children and cushioning the needy with monthly allowances. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And in news from beyond our borders, several progressive stakeholders from the various sectors have amplified calls for an end to the Israel-Palestine conflict, which has claimed thousands of lives, including children, and the Gaza Strip.
Standing in solidarity with the Palestinian people, several church leaders and members of civic groups gathered in Harare this Sunday to pray for peace and call for ceasefire between the two warring nations.
My key message is we need immediately ceasefire.
For me, I feel that the brothers and sisters that are in Israel, that are lost actually, they are not unrealizing that whatever is going on is creating more damage than it is bringing peace.
My call to the people of Israel is that there should be tolerance, should be dialogue, there should be love. In the global village, there is nothing that is impossible to solve.
President of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Zimbabwe, Mr. Imam Yusuf Anubi, and the ZANU-PF Youth League Deputy National Commissar, Comrade Taureka Ndishaya, congregate on the need for an end to the war.
We are saying that there's no justification whatsoever to kill innocent children, women, and the elderly.
Nyika yeIsrael nePalestine vanofanira kugara pasi pova nerunyararo nekuti vanhu vari kufa haasi mauto havasawo nezvematongerwo enyika vanhuwo zvavo vasina zvavanoziva nevana vadiki kuri kuita nherera nezvimwe zvinoda nyika dzigare pasi kana dzakundikana kugara pasi dzimwe nyika ngadzipindire.
According to the Global Conflict Tracker, more than 15,000 Palestinians have been killed since the 7th of October war started as the Israeli army continues to relentlessly bomb different locations in the Gaza Strip. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
And in our business news, a business lobby organization CEO Africa Roundtable is set to publish the country's first ever business confidence index, which is expected to help government and policymakers to formulate proper economic policies.
The CEO Africa Roundtable has deployed researchers countrywide to carry out surveys which will culminate in the first ever Business Confidence Index. Chief Executive Officer of the CEO Africa Roundtable, Mr. Kipson Gundani, said the Business Confidence Index is a key barometer which can help government to formulate effective policies.
The Business Confidence Index is a very useful metric and a very useful tool in terms of policy making, giving policy direction, and also gauging the level of confidence in the economy. So we are expecting a multifaceted stakeholders to come on the 8th to receive such a report, which is the first by the CEO Africa Roundtable, and which we believe will be handy going forward in terms of informing business decisions and also policy decisions.
Government, through the National Development Strategy 1, has implemented a raft of.
From business, we move on to sports news. Over 124 judokas from across the country graced Old Georgian Sports Club this Saturday in honor of the sport's founding father in Zimbabwe, Brian Warren.
Judokas from as young as 5 years old up to senior level, yet another competition in store before the end of the year, as they participated in the Brian Warren Memorial Cup at the Hub this Saturday. Both genders had a chance to showcase their skills at the annual tournament in recognition of Warren, who introduced the sport in Zimbabwe in 1964. The Zimbabwe Olympic Committee, ZOC, also paid tribute to its former executive, while not
the pathway again, to speak, so to speak, so that we don't look at short term. Long term, as the Zimbabwe Olympic Committee, we not just don't look at 2 years from now. We look at 2028, so that these athletes that are actually being given an opportunity to compete here are looking at the bigger picture in 2028.
Warren pioneered judo as a sport in Zimbabwe about 60 years ago and went on to serve as the Judo Association of Zimbabwe president for more than 2 decades. He also served as a board member for ZOC from 1998 before being elected as vice president in 2004, a position he held until he stepped down in 2013. Reynald Ngorati, ZBC News, Harare.
That's it for the Lunchtime News. I'm Prudence Mutimba Nyoka Piswe Jomonika on sign language, and the crew behind the scenes. Stay blessed.
ZBC Current Affairs, leading the conversation on local, regional and